Welcome on in to our NFL show of the week number 7. Myself, Rick Sports Talk with Mr. Bryson Owens. Brother, it is good to see you. The NFL is moving so fast. We're already at this pretty much halfway point. I'm like, man, we are running out of days here. But how you feeling about this week looking at these games?
I'm good so far, man. Like you said, it's rolling by so quick. It felt like yesterday we were talking about how excited we were about the Broncos. Now we're sitting here at 1-5, and we're like, can the season be done? Are we over?
It over yet?
We've reached the end, right? This is it. But other than that, man, it's been a really good NFL season so far. I've loved a lot of it, and this week it looks like it's going to be a good one.
It's like when you're on a roller coaster and you're going up, and you know it's going tick, 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 and you're just like, can we get off the ride, please? Can the ride be over? Like, no, I know we do not want to ride any longer. We are not feeling it over here in Broncos country. But we do have a Broncos game to talk about here coming up shortly. But before we do, want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Honest Golf. Make sure you guys check out Honest Golf Apparel on Instagram at Honest Golf Apparel. Use code TSF20, that is TSF20 at honestgolf.ca, and get yourself 20% off your order today. Check out this hat right here. Got a lot of new merchant for you guys. New shirts, new hats, new towels, new colors, new logos. I mean, they are really pumping stuff out over there at Honest Golf. So head over there and check them out. But, brother, starting here with a game that I think could shape up to be one of the better games of the day. I know some people aren't looking forward to this one, but I like this one a lot. That is the Detroit Lions +3 at the Baltimore Ravens. They are 3-point favorites in their own house, coming off some big travel lately, but you're back home. You got, I don't want to call the Lions a juggernaut, but a lot of people think this is a top 5 football team right now. Are you surprised to see the Lions as dogs here on the road?
I'm not too surprised considering they are on the road and the Ravens are a good football team. I think people are looking at this as, I mean, like you said, it's maybe one of the more like under the radar type of games heading into this weekend. It's a really good matchup. These are two teams that play pretty similar brands of football so far this year. The Ravens are 4-2 while the Lions are 5-1. I'm not shocked that the Lions are underdogs. I would have made it more like a 1.5 point spread. I think the Lions are getting a little bit slighted. I think people aren't giving them as much credit as they really deserve, but I think it's going to be one heck of a football game. That's for sure.
There's so many people right now that are saying the Ravens are fraudulent. They're not that good. Their defense isn't that good. Their offense isn't that good. They got lucky in a few games. They lost that game to the Steelers. Like, Like, people can't get over this Ravens team. I'm surprised to see them favored by 3. I agree with you. I think since it's in Baltimore, fine. 1 point, 1.5 points, maybe even up to 2.5. But the fact that they hooked us and they gave us the full 3, there's no way I'm leaving 3 points on the board here. I'm going Detroit Lions on the money line. I'm going Detroit Lions plus the 3. I do like the Ravens. I usually do. And if this was a pick 'em, I might take the Ravens. But because their dogs are on the road and they're facing a Lions team that we had question marks on the defense, they showed up. We had question marks on the offense. They showed up. Now, the big factor in this one, David Montgomery. If he does not play in this game, scratch my money line bet and just take the points. I think if he plays, they're going to win this football game. If he doesn't play, it definitely makes it more interesting. It's going to slow the game down. The total is going to be lower in this one, blah, blah, blah. So I like the Lions on the money line if Montgomery plays, and if not, do yourself a favor. At that point, the line probably falls to 3.5 or 4. Just take the points and ride it to the bank. Over under 43 points in this one. What do you do here?
So first of all, I also like the money lines on the money, or the Lions on the money line as well. Even if they don't have David Montgomery, the Lions right now seem to be one of those teams like the Niners and the Eagles who kind of just seem to get 100-yard rusher out of anyone. I mean, last year they had 3 running backs who all looked like starters. This year they're kind of doing the same thing. With the over-under here, I like the under in this game, which is a little bit risky because the Lions, these are 2 of the better offenses in the NFL. These are 2 of the higher scoring teams. I believe they are both in the top 10, or the Ravens are just outside the top 10. The Lions are 4th in the NFL in scoring. So it's risky taking the under. But the Lions defense is amazing this season, which I don't think a lot of people thought they were going to say heading into it. They are number 1 in the NFL in stopping the run. They only give up 64 yards per game. And you know that's what the Ravens are going to want to do on offense. So they're going to make life very difficult on the Ravens offense. And then they are 8th the NFL in pressures. They're going to make life rough on this Ravens, whether it's against the run or pressuring Lamar in the passing game. I think that this defense for the Lions is set up to play really well against this Ravens team. I am concerned with the consistency on offense if David Montgomery doesn't play. But like I said, they find run game out of everyone. They have the number one offensive line, according to Pro Football Focus in the NFL right now.
That's
Jared
crazy.
Goff really well. This whole team, I love the Lions. I think it's going to be lower scoring. It's on the East Coast. Who knows if there's going to be, who knows what the weather is going to be like. That could play a factor in as well. So it's risky, but I like the under in this game.
My problem in this game, and I hear what you're saying about the running back room, because you're right. They do have a big rusher no matter what. The problem is that number 2 guy is Jahmyr Gibbs, and he's questionable as well. Now, if Montgomery doesn't play, I would assume he will strap up, man up, take that steroid shot, get out there and go do what he's got to do. I think as long as one of those 2 plays, I'm with you. Now, if they're 1 and they're 2 are out, I'm really starting to struggle with the Lions in this game on the road. It's just when you're beat up, you're on the road. Like you said, Baltimore, tough place to play. Could be a rainy, gloomy kind of game. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I am with you on the under 43 points as well here, with or without these running backs in. This number to me is solid gold. I hope it goes to 44, 45. But even at 43, it's too good not to go under. This is a 37, 38 point football game, in my opinion. So 43 points here just feels like the right side to be on. You got 2 really good defenses, 2 pretty good offenses that can play well, but you look at all the other factors surrounding the game here, and it just makes more sense to go under than over. If you had to ask me, like, Riggs, is this more likely to be a really boring, low-scoring game or an absolute shootout? I don't see many people saying, oh, this has shootout written all over it. I don't know. I don't see that. So good luck to you guys, whichever way you choose to go there. Jumping on over to another 11 a.m. game. And this one, look, man, I don't know how I feel about this game. It could just be the worst game of the day, but it also has potential to be thriller. And that is the Atlanta Falcons plus 2.5 points on the road at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Over under a measly 37 points in this game. Look, I'll go first here. Baker Mayfield, my brother, my man who's filling up my pockets all year long. They are making you a 2.5 point favorite. Finally, man, they put that respect on Baker's name, and rightfully so. They are the better football team. He is the better quarterback. They are the better defense. I would have said the Falcons defense was better if you'd asked me 5 weeks ago. But from what I've seen lately, this Falcons team, they get worse every week. Every single week, they take one more step back and one more step back, and vice versa. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they go up every week for me. I think Baker Mayfield found his groove. He looks so comfortable, so happy in Tampa Bay. I'm happy with the minus 140 money line, but I would go as far as laying 2.5 points. I just don't like laying any points in a 37-point game, as this could be 17-16. And the Bucks win, something like that. So I'm going to go Bucks money line, but I'm actually going to go with a pretty heavy bet in this one.
I like that a lot. I'm with you on the money line. I like the Buccaneers to cover in this one. First of all, Desmond Ridder, terrible on the road. He is not a good road quarterback. He's pretty good at home. He suffered his first home loss of his entire career last week. So he's pretty good at home. On the road, he's not very good. And this Tampa Bay defense, it's legit, like you said. I mean, they are 8th in the NFL in scoring. They only give up 17 points a game. They're really good against the run, which, like I said with the Lions against the Ravens, the Falcons are going to want to run the football. They want to make Bijan Robinson the focal point of the offense. And if you can shut down Bijan, make Desmond Ridder a passer, that's a really scary thing for the Falcons in that offense. The one thing that does concern me is the Falcons are second in the NFL, or the third in the NFL, in pressure rate percentage. They pressure the quarterback on 29.6% of the plays, which is a little bit scary. But the Bucs do have a top 10 offensive line. I believe they're ranked 10th by Pro Football Focus right now. So they're playing at a high level there. And Baker Mayfield, I mentioned it last time we talked about him, really good against pressure. He is very good, very accurate, really good on those type of plays where teams bring pressure on him. So even if the Falcons can get to Baker a couple times, the way he's playing right now, I have full confidence in him making the right play. So I'm with you on the Buccaneers in this game.
over under 37 points. I know it's a terrifying number, but we both just said we don't trust Ritter. We do trust the defensive units. Is 37 too low to go under? Because for me, it's under or it's nothing, but I can't bet the over here. I just haven't seen enough.
Yeah, I'm with you there. This is a really scary bet. I'm going to take the under. Even with Baker Mayfield playing as well as he has, the Buccaneers haven't been lighting up the scoreboard. They are 25th in the NFL in points on offense, so they're not exactly a high-scoring team. This team has been winning their games with ball control and defense. I think it's going to be a similar situation here. I can see it being somewhere around a 17-14 type of game.
Yep. I'm with you. I don't really see either team scoring more than 2 touchdowns, maybe 3 touchdowns for the Buccaneers, maybe. But anything more than that, you're really starting to stretch there. So let's pull up a couple touchdown scores here. I know that's very ballsy in this game, if you would, just because we're literally saying maybe 2 on each side, maybe even only 1. So let's both just pick one touchdown score here that if there's one guy to get in, it's your guy. I'll go first here. I would say Bijan Robinson, but I'm fading the Falcons. So I'm going to go with the other running back, Rachaad White. I love this guy. I can't believe that he's coming in at plus 160 odds. That is a beautiful number for me. I don't think the Bucs win the game if he doesn't get in the end zone, if that makes any sense. So I'm going Rachaad White plus 160, and I'm going to go up another level, and I'm going to go Rachaad White first touchdown at 7-1 odds.
I like that a lot. I'm taking a bit of a shot here. I'm going to take the rookie Trey Palmer at plus 400. He is second on the team in touchdowns with 2 so far this year. He seems to be Baker's favorite deep shot. Like whenever Baker needs a big play on like third long, Trey Palmer is kind of the guy he goes to if Mike Evans is covered pretty well. And the Falcons have 2 really good corners. So if Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are having trouble getting open, I can see Trey Palmer sneaking in for one.
Man, Trey Palmer. I did not see that one coming, but I really like it here at 4-1. This is one of those games where like whoever gets in is going to be exactly who you go, who the hell is that? Who's
it's gonna
Devin Tompkins? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know who that guy is. So I don't know, man.
It's going to be like Mac Hollins at plus 600.
Yeah, something absolutely wild. I don't really know what to expect in this game, but good luck to you guys if you choose to have a little fun with a touchdown score in that one. By the way, my other favorite bet in that game is the field goals. Guys, field goal props. I think the Bucs kicker over 1.5 field goals.
I like that.
That might be the best play of the entire game other than Bucs money line. So best of luck there. Jumping over. Come on, boys. This is it. Pittsburgh Steelers, 3-point dogs on the road at the LA Rams. I know they got Cooper Kupp back. Everyone is singing the praises of the Rams, man. Everybody I know, my friends that are haters, my friends that are not haters, my local friendly Alliance Steelers fans, even they are like, no, boys, we're losing this game. Give me the Rams here. I don't understand how that's everybody's take. Bryson, I know my vision might be a little bit shadowed and cloudy because I'm a Steelers fan, but you give me the Pittsburgh Steelers and 3 points against almost any team, especially the Rams, and I'm taking it.
I don't blame you. I'm not touching the money line in this game for sure, but I do think the Pittsburgh Steelers have a good chance to cover this one. You saw them. They played the Ravens last time before their bye week. They played very well. It was one of Kenny Pickett's best games of the year. He was very efficient. The defense finally stepped up the last time they played. And this Rams team puts up a lot of yards. They can put up yards in bunches. They are 5th in the NFL in that. But they don't score a lot. And that's kind of the Pittsburgh Steelers motto is they give up a lot of yards. They're going to let you get in the red zone, but they're not going to let you score. That's kind of how Mike Tomlin's always done things in Pittsburgh, at least in my opinion, is he just doesn't give up the points.
You can have these 5 field goals. Enjoy your 5 field goals, but you ain't getting in the end zone. Yep.
Exactly. And I think it can be a very similar thing here. I think the Rams are going to move the ball well on Pittsburgh. This Pittsburgh defense has been very good at stopping the ball, but I don't think the Rams are going to finish drives very well. It's going to keep Pittsburgh in this game for a while. And I think you finally found some kind of groove with Pickett and the way that Matt Canada calls this offense. So I think it's going to be a close game. Whether The Rams or Steelers win, I don't know. It's going to be too close for that for me. But I think Pittsburgh has a chance to cover.
Look, whenever you're that 50-50 in a game, and to me, you're getting plus 140, you're getting 3 points, how do you not go with the dog team? How do you go with the Rams? All I can tell you is there's no way that I'm laying the Rams here minus 165. There's no way. I can't do it. Like, I get that the Steelers offense, yes. Have they struggled? Of course they have. But their defense keep them in games. They win them games. They don't even try to score when they get the ball back with a minute before halftime. They just go, hey, knee it out. TJ Watt, go get ready, brother. You're going to go win this football game for us in the second half. Like, they are not worried about scoring high points. They don't have to score. All they have to do is keep you to 20 or less, and they're in every single game to beat you. And I think this team can do so here. I get that the Rams are a good team. Yes, you have to worry about Cooper Kupp. But overall, guys, this piece of me, I can see how the Rams run away with this game. I can see how it happens, right? I can see that. But I also think Kenny Pickett, you mentioned it, he gets better every week. Matt Canada.
You know how we feel about Matt Canada. We're not fans of him.
Yeah, I'm just going to let this one go because I'm going to say some mean stuff. Mama said if it ain't nice, don't say it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll let it go. But they are getting better as the weeks go on. I think Canada is starting to figure out what Kenny's good at, what he's not good at. In the first few weeks, we saw him just calling a bunch of BS 1-yard dump passes. It's 3rd and 8, and we're throwing 1-yard slants. And we're all sitting here like, what are we doing? And people want to blame Kenny Pickett, but I don't think it's Pickett's fault. I would guarantee you, after a little bit of time off here, the Steelers go into this game. They've had extra time to prepare. I think they win this football game, but I'm not going to go that far. I'm going to go give me the 3 points. If they lose 23-21, I can live with it, but I'm not leaving points on the board here. So good luck to you guys there. Also, my favorite bet of this game, another kicker prop, Chris Boswell, over 1.5 field goals. The Steelers, they are going to get in the 30, maybe even the red zone pretty often, but they're not going to get in. And for that reason, there's no one on the planet that I like more than Chris Boswell other than Justin Tucker. So give me Chris Boswell over 1.5 plus 100. I mean, Bryson, come on. So
you gotta take that one.
I don't know.
We just talked about how this is going to be a field goal game earlier. So I'm with you.
It has to be. I don't see how this is a 7-touchdown game. There's just no. Unless Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp both go for 2 tutties. There's no way. Over under 43.5 here. Are we both on the under?
Yeah, I'm on the under for this one.
Okay. Easy enough, guys. We're not going to waste any more time on the Steelers-Rams game. Going to be a fun one. Do not miss that. 2:05 p.m. And then 20 minutes later, what is likely to be the game of the day for the daytime games. That is the Los Angeles Chargers plus 5.5 points on the road in Kansas City. Arrowhead. Their boys are getting 5.5 points here, laying 5.5 points here at home. Over under 48 points. Chargers coming off another disappointing loss. They had a chance to win the game. They couldn't get it done. I know a lot of people are starting to jump ship on the Chargers. They're like, yep, same shit, another year. Brandon Staley, get him out of there. He can't clutch up football games, and I understand that take. But to this day, Bryson, I'm not convinced that the Kansas City Chiefs are all that. I don't think that they're the same team that they usually are. So what do you do here?
I'm going to take the Chiefs in this game. This Chiefs defense is on another level. It's one of the best defenses in the NFL. They give up the second least amount of points in the NFL. They only give up 14 points per game. That's insane. They're second in the NFL in pressure rate. They pressure the quarterback a lot. That Chargers offensive line is dropping fast in terms of the rankings. I believe they are now 17th according to PFF. They dropped 2 spots after the game against the game against the Cowboys. This Chiefs defense is largely why I'm pretty confident in them. But then it's the offense for the Chiefs. I think they finally get it going. They're going against the Chargers team that's 32nd in the NFL. They are last in the NFL in passing defense. If any time Mahomes is going to wake up, I thought it was going to be against the Broncos because of how bad the Broncos defense is. He had a decent game. He wasn't good. He wasn't great in that game. But I think he's going to have a better game against this Chargers team. And Patrick Mahomes is 28-3 against the AFC West in his career. And I believe 2 of those losses are to the Raiders. So he's only lost 1 game, I believe, in his NFL career to the Chargers. He doesn't lose to these guys.
That's impressive.
Justin Herbert, I think, falters in Kansas City. I know it's a big spread, but I'm going to take the Chiefs.
It's going to be hard for me to go against what you just said here. But look, you brought up the Bronco game. Look at the Jets game. Look at the Jags game. Look at the Lions game. Bro, I'm sorry. I don't think that they're not a top 5 football team right now. I think they're a top 10 football team right now. But offensively, they are like a couple bad decisions from being 2 games worse than they are right now. Like, I understand that this is a good football team, but you mentioned it's also an AFC West showdown. I know he doesn't lose these games. Patrick Mahomes is a freaking animal, bro. There's no dude that you'd want to have your life in his hands more than Patrick Mahomes when playing the AFC West. I understand that. More importantly, playing the Broncos, but another talk for another day. Yeah. But look, dude, like, I think this is a close football game that turns out how it turns out for the Chargers every single freaking time. And that is Justin Herbert gets the ball. They're down somewhere between 3 to 7 points heading into the final drive of the game. And he has a chance to drive down and win the game. Now, is he going to win the game? Probably not, because he just doesn't win games. I know the score prediction sounds a little bit low, but I'm going to go in the 24-20, maybe 28-24 category. I think the Kansas City Chiefs win this game, but they only win it by 4 points. Justin Herbert is going to need to get a touchdown on the final drive, and he's going to come up short, as he does every single freaking time. I hope this line falls to 7 by game time, because I think a touchdown, there's no way you leave a touchdown on the board, right? Yeah. But I don't think it gets that high. I think it closes right around 6, maybe 6.5. And even then, guys, take the Chargers with the points, but don't take them on the money line. Bryson just told you 28-3. If you want to take a shot that they're going to beat a team that has only lost 3 of 31 games, best of luck to you. I'm not going to go against that trend, but I will go against the spread, because Kansas City, they do not cover spreads. They either come up short or they pretty much push every single time, like they did last week. And then the 2 weeks before that, they didn't even cover. Like, other than the Bears game, they haven't manhandled any team in the entire NFL. True. So I don't know, man. I know I'm taking a risk here, but I think Justin Herbert on the road plays a good game, but it's just the same old Chargers, and they come up short. So that's my rant. Anyway, you guys go ahead and pick which side you want to be on. Bryson going Chiefs. I'm going Chargers. That game's sure to be fun. Over under 48 points, though. I know I just said 24-20. That'd be under. And then I said 28-24, and that'd be over. So I'm literally right in the middle here. Which way are you going?
I'm right there with you. It's going to be really close. I have the under, and I have 27-20. So it's right there. Like, I'm not super confident either. The one thing that does scare me, we talked about how, like, below average this Chiefs offense has gotten off to a start. Imagine this being a down year for your offense, and you're 4th in total yards, 2nd in passing yards, and 9th in points. That's a down year for this Chiefs team, and they're top 10 in those categories. That's kind of wild. Yeah. So my one fear with this, like I said, Patrick Mahomes wakes up and puts up 5 touchdowns on this Chargers defense.
I could see it. I understand what you're saying, but I'm going to go with you on the under as well. You said 27-20. That's for you to cover. I'm going to go 24-20 for me to cover. Either way, guys, we're going under here. Could this turn into a shootout? Look, it's the 2 highest scoring teams in the AFC West. Absolutely. This could turn into a 34-28 game and not even be close to the over-under. But I do feel like we're looking at about a 13-10 kind of game at halftime. And at that point, you're right on track for the over-under, and it's going to be right there. So we're both going under, but Bryson's going to trust Kansas City. I'm not putting my money on those boys, so I'm going to go Chargers to cover the spread here. Good luck there. It's time, Bryson. It's time. We didn't have to do this. We didn't have to do this for a few days. And here we are again, talking about who is arguably the worst team in the NFL. Some people want to say they are the bottom. I don't know how anybody could be ranked lower than the Patriots and the Panthers. So I'm going to say they're at least the 30th best team in the NFL, and they beat the Bears. So I'm putting them in the number 29 spot. But hey, that's another talk for another debate. But Packers coming to Denver, 1-point favorites on the road. Denver Broncos, 1-point dogs, over under in this game, 45 points. 7 weeks ago, we would have thought the Broncos would be minus 6.5. So now they're dogs at home. You look at plus 100. Do you have to take that?
I don't. I think that this is a game where the Broncos are going to lose at home again. And really, at this point, Broncos country, it's almost for the better. Like, winning this Packers game really doesn't help us much. This is a Packers team who's fighting for a lot more than we are at this point. I think they're going to come into Denver. They're going to look to make a point out of their last couple of games. They have not played well recently. They lost to the Raiders in their last game 17-13. They got embarrassed by the Lions before that. Like, they're on a mission to prove they're on the right track to be a playoff team in the NFC. The one thing the Broncos have going for them is the offense is good for Denver. It's a good offense. We dropped pretty heavily in points because of the Chiefs game last week, but we were top 10 in points going into that one. This team going against this Packers team, this Packers defense is talented, but it's not performing very well right now. So the Broncos do have a chance just based on the Packers defense not really stepping up. But we also see the Broncos defense isn't exactly great. It's not a very good defense right now. And Jordan Love, when he's not pressured, can make really good throws. And the Broncos do not pressure the quarterback well. They're the second to worst team in the NFL when it comes to pressuring the quarterback. So it's really close. These aren't exactly stellar football teams, but I have Green Bay coming in here and winning this game.
Guys, Bryson is fading the Denver Broncos at home, man. I guess someone has to go to bat for the boys, and I'm going to go to bat for the boys. I will say I'm not going to bat for the Broncos just because Bryson is not. I was going to go to bat for the Broncos either way in this game. Look, the one thing you have said about the Denver Broncos every single show we've had this year is you've said Russ is not the problem, and this offense is better than they're getting credit for because the defense is so damn bad that they lose football games, but they put up points that when other teams put up those points, they win football games. So you look at the offense here. I think they can score against the Packers. I know the Packers defense, it's very respectable, and I fully understand what every single thing you're saying about the Packers, because I agree with you. I think they do have more to play for. I think they do have the better defense in this game, but I think we have the better offense in this game. We have the better quarterback in this game. Running back wise, okay, I'll give that to the Green Bay Packers. I think they win that one. Receiving targets, I think we win that one. And more importantly, we are playing at home in this game. If we were on the road, I don't think I'd be doing this. But the Denver Broncos, you see them minus 105 here. I see them in a lot of places at plus 100, plus 102. I'm going to go ahead and take them on the money line. And I'm also going to take them plus the 1.5 points as well, because nothing else makes more sense than the Denver Broncos losing by 1 point. Oh my God. Doesn't that like I could see it right now, like 24-23, 21-20. It's written all over this game for the Broncos to find a way to screw it up. So I think Russ puts it together. I think everyone has finally hit that point where they're like I said, all right, stop the roller coaster. Let's get off. The ride's over. We don't want to play anymore. I understand that, but this is one of the few games left on the schedule that I look at and I say, my God, this is one they have to win. And if they lose this one, you guys might not hear me bet them again for the entire year, because at that point, they literally are playing for nothing. This is like the final straw. If you win this game, you get to 2-5. Then they got the Chiefs again. That's probably a loss. But then there's a couple games after that they can win. Like, they could save – I don't want to go as far as saying a 500 season, but like they could save themselves here if they win this football game. If they lose this game, it's time to go into tanking mode. But I'm going to go Denver Broncos on the money line. I think they're the better football team. I like that they're at home, and I love that they're not favored in this game. So while everyone, by the way, 78% of the money right now coming in on the Packers, give me the Denver Broncos. I'll take a shot here with the sharp bettors and fade the public here. Over under 45 points. We can't stop anybody. So what do you do here?
I'm going to take the over in this game. These are two above average offenses when it comes to scoring. We put up 21.5 points a game. The Packers put up 22.6. So both teams are better in the NFL at scoring than people think. But the important part is two of the worst scoring defenses in the NFL. The Broncos are last in scoring defense. They give up 33 points a game. The Packers are 22nd. They give up 23 points per game. So I have the over hitting largely because I don't trust either of these defenses. Like you said, we can't stop anyone. The Packers have a hard time stopping people from scoring right now. So I am going to take the over in this game.
I'm with you on the over just to back up your yards here, man. The Denver run game, I think they're going to excel here. They're averaging 4.9 yards per rush, ranking them fourth in the NFL right now, which you would never think when you look at who our running back room is, but they are pulling that off. And the Packers right now, their rush defense is awful. They are 28th in the NFL. Between that and the fact that Russ can sling the ball here, and then the fact that the Denver Broncos can't stop anybody, I don't see how we go under in this game. So
I agree.
I'd love to hear your score prediction here, but I'm going to go 24-23. Denver Broncos win it, 47 total points.
I'm going a little bit higher than you. I've got 27-24 for the Packers in that one. So 51 total points. So I'm way on the over.
Yeah, no, I get where you're at. I'm definitely, there's no way I'm going under. And I would say there's no way I'm going Packers. But if you guys have been watching football for 6 weeks, you probably are on the Packers. But if you're like me, you're a little bit biased, you're a little bit dumb, and you hope too much for a team, you should jump on the Broncos here. I swear to God, y'all have my word. If they lose this football game, I will not say Denver Broncos money line on one more show for the entire year. They are winning this football game, guys. I'm telling you. I know I have the weirdest amount of confidence here, but I have confidence that they win this football game.
Someone's got to.
Hey, good luck, Broncos. Come on, Sean Payton. Hey, if they lose this game, might as well just fire Sean and get this over with. But anyway, enough of the Denver Broncos, man. Jumping on over to the game right below. The Miami Dolphins are plus 2.5 points here on the road, plus 114 on that money line. Philadelphia Eagles at home, minus 2.5, minus 135. This is the prime time game of the night. Over under 52 points here. A couple things I want to point out. One, the Eagles last week, they kind of got exposed. Everybody's like, wait a minute. Maybe they're not that good. Maybe Jalen Hurts is taking a step back. Maybe he's going into his Joe Burrow phase of the year. I don't know. But something's wrong with them last week. And then looking at the Miami Dolphins, I know they've had a couple games that their defense has gotten exposed. But outside of that, I truly believe the Miami Dolphins are the better football team in this game. I'm surprised to see 2.5. So before I go slamming plus 114, do you have any idea why Miami are dogs here? And honestly, kind of significant dogs.
My only real guess as to why Miami is the underdog in this one is they're a little banged up. A couple of their running backs, they're still missing Devon Achane, who has been electrifying for them in the run game. Mostert's been great, but that Mostert-Achane duo was incredible. Their top two corners, Jalen Ramsey's still not playing. Xavier Howard's questionable for this one, so their top corners are banged up. Their left tackle, Tron Armstead's still on IR, so injuries is a big part of it. But then also, I think it's a respect factor for the Eagles, being the defending NFC champs, being at home. They are 5-1, so it's not like the Eagles aren't a good football team heading into this one. I'm with you. I think Miami is better suited to win this game, but it's not like the Eagles are playing poorly. They're not playing their best football, but they're 5-1. And I think the point about last week with the Jets, Robert Saleh said it best. He and that Jets team has played a gauntlet of quarterbacks. They played Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and they've kind of got the better of all of them. They've given up less touchdowns to interceptions. I think it's 3 touchdown passes to like 7 interceptions in those games.
That's wild.
So that defense is really, really good for the Jets. I think that was more of it than anything else. But I'm with you. I think the Dolphins, as of right now, are better suited for this matchup.
If you were the guy that makes the power rankings every week, which of these two teams would be on top of each other?
So that's interesting. I do have, even though I just said the Dolphins are better suited for this matchup, I have the Eagles as still the best team in football. A lot of it's based on
in
talent.
football.
Yeah, I think they're still the best team in the
Wow.
NFL. I think a lot of it's based on talent. There's stars all over the field. And at some point, Jalen Hurts is going to get it going again. And again, like we made the joke, I made the comment how a down year for the Chiefs was second in passing yards, top 10 in points. Well, this down year for the Eagles is second in total yards and fifth in points. So it's not like the Eagles are playing bad football. They're deep at running back, they're deep at wide receiver. They've got one of the best O-lines in football. The defense is underperforming a little bit, but it's still exceptionally talented. So I have the Eagles as the best team in the NFL, but the Dolphins are the best team in the AFC, in my opinion. I have them as the third best team in the NFL.
Wow. Eagles. I don't want to say that's a hot take, but I think that's kind of a hot take to put the Eagles at
Might be
number
a
one
little
right
bit.
now.
Might
Most
be a little
people
bit
put
right
them
now.
in that 3-4 category.
Mhm.
Most people put like Niners, Bills, and then like the Dolphins and Eagles are kind of varying. You get those crazy people that go Kansas City Chiefs, which that's not right? But look, man, I like what you said, and I like that you kind of pumped the brakes here because it is easy for people to look at this game and just say, "Whoa, the wrong team's favored here. The Eagles got exposed. They're not that good." I agree with you. I think that one bad football game, fine. But let's look about what happened just before that against the Washington Commanders. They escape in overtime, 34-31. My opinion, the Commanders should have gone for 2 points and just won the freaking game in Philly. But that's,
I agree.
What's done is done. 31 points to the Washington Commanders.
Yep.
I understand that happens, but like, you can't give up as many points as you gave up to the Jets last week. Like, I just feel like something's wrong with Philly. Obviously, the tush push alone can't be stopped. And I don't think Miami, honestly, and I think when you look at every game, like you have to look at, can this team stop the tush push, right? I don't think Miami can.
Nope.
I think every time it's 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, they're not going to be able to stop it. And that's a problem. That's a factor in this game. So Miami, they lead the league in scoring with 37.2, but then they allow 26, right? Like, how do you allow 26? You score 37. Broncos, take notes. Like, at least you got to get your numbers kind of close to these. But, dude, I think the wrong team is favored here. I've been very high on the Philadelphia Eagles, but I just think we are here to bring people value, right? And I think there's value on the Miami Dolphins. The way I look at this game is if it goes to 3, you take the 3 every single time. Make the Eagles beat you. You start up 3-0 on the Eagles with the Miami Dolphins. I'm happy with that. But at 2.5, I'm leaving the 2.5 points. I'm going money line plus the 114 straight up. I just don't see why you would not take the plus money here. This is a huge football game. We're going to find out in this one which of these teams is going to take another jump up in the rankings and which team's going to fall about 2 spots in the rankings, because I think if Philadelphia lose here, I don't want to say it's going to get noisy, but it's going to get a little noisy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you lose to the Dolphins, it's not embarrassing. It's not that big of a deal. But at the same time, you can't drop 2 in a row, especially when you're at home here on primetime. So I'm going to have a little fun. I'm going to go Dolphins money line, Dolphins plus 3 if it gets to that point. Now, we just talked about how many points each team allows and each team scores. Is there any way you're going to go under the 52 here?
Absolutely not. I'm with you on the money line for the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are well equipped, like I said, to beat the Eagles in this one. But there's no way I'm taking the under here. This could be a 70-point total game in this one. Both teams could be in the high 30s. Wow. I mean, you mentioned it. The Dolphins put up 37 points by themselves. And I mentioned that the Eagles are 5th in scoring. They put up 26. So they are a high-powered team as well. The one thing that really makes me confident in this one is the 2 defenses. They're 19th for the Dolphins and 20th for the Eagles in passing defense. There's going to be a lot of passing yards in this game. I would take Tua's over on passing, Jalen's over on passing. I would take a lot of receiver props in this one. It's going to be, there's going to be a lot of pass plays in this one. So there's no chance I'm taking the under in this game.
Can you give me a score prediction for your over 52 points here?
So I would take Dolphins 31, Eagles 28.
So you're going Dolphins to win.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Dolphins winning the game. I think
Okay.
the Eagles are just
The
better
team.
roster right now, but the Eagles are well
Gotcha.
equipped to beat this Eagles team. It's a matchup thing, really.
It is a matchup thing. All right, man. Ooh, I like your score prediction here. I will go over the 52 points as well. First of all, this number's too low for me. I think we're looking at about a 54 to 58 point kind of game here. Could even get uglier than that, but you definitely got both teams in the upper 20s. Someone's going to hit 30 something. So I'm going to go 30 to 24 in this game.
Ooh.
Dolphins get it done. I think the Eagles have the ball on a game-winning drive to get this thing done, and they just come up short here. So good luck to you guys there. We're both going over. We're both going Dolphins. If it falls to 3, grab the 3 points, you guys. If the Dolphins win this game, you're not going to see them as dogs probably for the rest of the season. Maybe if they play I guess some other team on the road in a really bad situation in some back-to-back short week. Other than that, if they win this game, they're not going to be plus money again. So grab them while you can.
The only time you'll see them as underdogs if they win this game, maybe the Chiefs in a couple weeks in Kansas City. That's the only time I would see the Dolphins as dogs again.
Yep. I feel you there. Well, good luck, guys, whichever side you choose to go on. Looking at some passing props here for you. Jalen Hurts over 1.5 touchdowns is -125. Tua is -150. Passing yards, Jalen Hurts over 256.5, -115. Tua, 273.5 at -125. So they are putting Tua on a bigger game than Jalen. Of these two sides, if you could pick one guy on each one, where would you go?
Oh, that's tough. I would probably take Tua just because I can see Jalen Hurts. I mentioned I would take the over in a lot of the passing numbers. The one thing with Hurts is I can see Hurts also getting it done on the ground. I can see him putting up about 60-ish rushing yards and having the two, having Tua's and Jalen's total yards being pretty similar, but a lot of Jalen's being on the ground.
Ooh, fair enough, man. I don't like any of these numbers, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I'm looking at the over 1.5, but like both run games are great. Jalen, his tush push. First of all, let me tell you guys right now, okay, touchdown scores are not released yet for this game, so we are not able to give you touchdown scores. But let me tell you right now, Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown, don't put your rent on it. Figure of speech, put your rent on this thing, baby. This is going to hit. Jalen Hurts, I don't care if he runs it in from 10 yards out. I don't care if he runs a fake handoff, play action, and he runs it in. I don't care if he pushes. How's he not going to score?
He has 5 touchdowns. Dude,
how's he not going to score? Like, where you and I both took the over. We both like Jalen Hurts in this game. We both don't think Miami can stop anybody. I don't know. I think all day long, Jalen Hurts to get in might be my favorite play in this entire game, even though I'm on the Dolphins here. So I can't go over on passing just because I think that. And then rushing wise, I really like Mostert to get in. So I think that's going to take away a touchdown for Tua. So I don't know, man. I'm going to stay off these props personally, but that is my 2 touchdown scores there. Once again, we don't have those odds out yet, but is there any other score that I didn't say that you're looking at in this one?
That's tough. I think, I mentioned I like the over in a lot of the passing numbers in this one. I think I would take Jalen Waddle to score. I know Tyreek gets a lot of attention. I think Jalen Waddle is a good candidate to score in this one. And then I would say Devontae Smith, another receiver. Again, AJ Brown gets a lot of attention in for the Eagles passing game. Devontae Smith only has 2 on the year. I think he can find a way to score in this one.
Like those a lot, guys. Well, best of luck to you, whichever way you choose to go. I don't know, man. This game hopefully lives up to the hype. I think this one is going to be one of the few games in primetime that we actually are like, oh my God, what a great primetime game. Because so far, it's kind of been a letdown in these big games. So hopefully we get a fun one there. Now, we got a couple parlays for you guys, a couple things we want to throw out there, a couple underdogs that you do not want to miss out on. But let's start here with our parlay of the week. Usually, we go with like a 2, 3, 4 leg money line parlay game, but we don't see the value this week. There's 2 mega favorites. There's a bunch of 2.5 point favorites that are risky on the road. So we're not going to put you guys' money in a bad spot here. We're going to do a touchdown scorer parlay of the week. We both put one of them in here. I'll go first. My guy is the less risky guy. Bryson's giving you guys a big payday here. I'm going to go Kenneth Walker. Anytime touchdown for Seattle against the Arizona Cardinals. This dude's running like a monster. The Arizona run defense, they're decent, but they're not going to stop Kenneth Walker in this game. I think the Seahawks win this game. They probably win this game with 24 to 34 points, and I just don't see a world in which K-Walk is not punching one in. If you guys want to have a little bit of balls, I'd sprinkle him to score first in that game as well, but that's not what we're doing here. So Kenneth Walker is my leg. What you doing?
I like your pick a lot, especially because he has 6 on the year. So he is a touchdown machine for the Seahawks. I've got Stephon Diggs for the Bills in this one. I think the Bills are just going to absolutely run all over the Patriots in that game. It's not going to be a close one. The Bills are going to put up somewhere around 3 to 4 touchdowns. And whenever the Bills do something like that, Stephon Diggs is usually at least one of them. He has 5 on the year. So if you see the Bills putting up a lot of points against this Patriots defense, I don't see much risk in putting a little bit on Stephon Diggs to score.
For that parlay, guys, right here below, Week 7 NFL touchdown parlay of the week. Diggs anytime, Kenneth Walker anytime, plus 200. We are really liking this one, guys. Both of those guys are going to score, and both of those teams are going to win. Let's put it that way. So good luck there. Looking at a couple dogs of the week. I know you and I were trying to look through some dogs, and we were like, well, damn, there's like 6 of them. So if we could pick maybe 2 to 4 dogs here for the people that we think are truly barking, let's go 1-1-1-1. You can go ahead and go first. Who you like?
We talked about them a little bit earlier. The Detroit Lions. I think the Detroit Lions at plus money is a great spot here. We talked about it. That defense lines up really well against the Ravens, and that offense can put up points in bunches. So the Lions are one of my favorite underdogs.
I like the Lions a lot. I'm going to go Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, I'm going to be sweating this one out, and I could look like a fool when my boys lose 28-7. But you guys give my boy Tomlin a couple extra days to prepare, and you put his team on the road against the Rams offense that, in my opinion, is overperforming. I think it's a good spot here for the Pittsburgh defense to come up big again. TJ Watt interception. Some crazy things are going to happen in this game. It's going to be one of those ugly games, and I think the Steelers pulled this thing out by 1 to 3 points. And once again, by the end of day Sunday, everyone's going to be like, the Los Angeles Rams, what happened here? They finally got their momentum going, and they lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's what I'm going with. Any others that you're looking at here?
There's not really any others that I love, but if you want to take a little bit of a chance on them, the New York Giants at home, I know they're risky because they aren't playing very good football. They're playing the Commanders. Daniel Jones may be back this week. They played probably their best football a week ago against the Bills. I can see a little bit of momentum, especially on that Giants defense riding into this one at home. So if you want to take a risk on one, the Giants is a sneaky good underdog this week.
That's ballsy. I'm against you on that one just because I have the other side winning there, but I do think there's value on that dog if you guys are looking for a dog spot here. I'm going to throw one more out there. We already talked about it. They're not really a dog, but they're dog enough for me. That is the Denver Broncos, baby. Stop playing with them boys. Russell Wilson and the guys are going to get it done at Mile High this weekend. Hope you guys are heading out to the game. And if not, make sure you catch it on TV. Support the fellas. They need it right now. God knows they need it right now. So good luck there. Make sure you guys check out sportsforumdenver.com. We got that for you right below here. I got my articles up there. Bryson's going to have some articles up there. We got a Denver Broncos article going up as well, giving you guys additional props, additional breakdown and preview on the games, and usually a bunch of specials and stuff in there as well. If you're looking for somewhere to watch the games this weekend, as you guys can see here, check out Jackson's Lodo. They're in downtown Lodo. Follow them on social media at Jackson's Lodo. Check out jacksonslodo.com. Happy hour Monday through Friday is from 2 to 6 p.m. But guys, all weekend long, that is the spot to go watch the game. It's going to be packed, great environment. Put your jersey on and go have some fun down there at Jackson's. And one more shout out to our friends over at Honest Golf Apparel. You guys, please go use code TSF20. You help our show out and you help your pockets out as well by saving 20%. So honestgolf.ca is the website, code TSF20, and get yourself 20% off now. Bryson Owens, any other closing thoughts here, my man? Anything else going on in the NFL? I know there was one other thing we were going to talk about. I was going to skip it, but I kind of want to touch on it for 2 seconds. Davante Adams and the
Yeah.
Raiders, if you're like me and you're sleeping under a rock, Bryson brought this to my attention. What's going on?
So the Las Vegas Raiders are starting to implode a little bit, as they are known for doing. And it started this time with Davante Adams. They got a win a week ago, the Raiders did. But one particular person wasn't super thrilled in the kind of the development of their win. Davante Adams kind of came out and said, after a 2-catch performance in their win, he was basically saying, who cares about the win right now in my position as an NFL player? It's about greatness, and I deserve to be put out there to put on a show for everyone. I'm in my mindset, wins and losses aren't super important. I'm here to put up numbers. I'm not here to hang out. That last part, I'm not here to just hang out, was a direct quote from him. It's not great in Las Vegas if your star receiver is coming out and saying that kind of stuff. I get it. It's in a win, so people kind of brush it off because they won the football game anyway. It's a lot better to correct those things after that, but I don't love those comments. Those aren't great coming from Davante Adams.
Do you think Davante is going to be on that trade block? Like, do you think that's kind of him saying, I don't want to be here?
I think he's for sure going to be on the trade block. The tricky thing with the Raiders, they're 3-3. They're almost a wild card.
Weird? It's weird.
I did not have that happening. They are currently like fighting for a wild card spot. So if you're the Raiders and you come to the trade deadline in a couple weeks, if you're 4-4, if you're 5-3 somehow, are you looking to trade Davante Adams? That's a tough spot for them to be in. I think he's going to get traded though. I think some team's going to come up to them, offer a first-round pick, and they're going to be like, "We gotta get talent. We gotta get draft capital somewhere."
I got 2 options for you. Get Jerry Jeudy's ass out of here. Okay, send him to Las Vegas, boy. Okay, oof. I know you might not like that trade because you got a younger guy and an older guy, but I swear to God, I would take Davante Adams right now for Jerry Jeudy straight up. I think that's fair, right? Is that a decently fair trade?
I think it's a little bit more weird. I think the Broncos would be getting more value back than the Raiders would be getting in a straight up.
Jerry and a third.
I think that could probably move the needle a little bit more. I think they might be a little bit more down for that.
Yeah, but even then, I actually don't think that. I mean, I think that'd be fun because you guys know how I feel about Jerry Jeudy. No offense, I like the guy, just don't think he fits on the Broncos. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I've been saying it, Bryson. When DeAndre Hopkins went on the market, I said they need that end zone, one-on-one, high point ball kind of guy.
Yep.
Davante's that guy. Kenny Pickett needs more help. He does get Deontay Johnson back this week, which, by the way, I didn't even say that earlier. That's another reason why I like the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game. That. But Deontay's this big. He ain't big. Yeah. They traded Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool was their big target. George Pickens, great blocker. Skinny, though. Not a big high point. He doesn't win many one-on-one balls unless it's like a big reaching, layout kind of play. I think Davante belongs at Pittsburgh. And one thing about Pittsburgh is they never get these great picks in the draft because they're always a mid team. They never get the big guy. I think if you got to give up a first rounder for him, I think you do it. So
I agree. I think that's a great spot for him. Can I give you my favorite spot?
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions. We just talked about how lethal that offense is. Amon-Ra St. Brown's great. Jamison Williams is a great deep ball threat. They have a really good tight end. If they can put Davante Adams in the same offense there, that gives Jared Goff another surefire third down receiver. Yeah, I think that, like you said, this year, Detroit's probably going to have a middle to high first round pick. I would trade the 26th overall pick for Davante Adams.
Can you imagine? You have to leave him and Amon-Ra in one-on-one coverage.
Oof.
Oh my God.
That's scary.
Jared Goff would be licking his chops. He'd be like, let's go, boy. Look, I mean, dude, like, you know who else really could use him? But I don't see him going there, but the freaking Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Their receivers are terrible. Like, you give Mahomes one more target, you put Devontae and Kelsey out there, bro, you're going to have a problem. Over. But I hope we don't see that because obviously we don't want that to happen. So
the only reason I don't see the Chiefs getting him is because the Raiders don't want to trade him in division. That's the one. That's the one reason. The Chiefs could give him 2 first-round picks, and they may not take that just because they don't want to play him.
That's fair. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think he gives a damn about the Raiders. I don't think the Raiders really care about Devontae either. I think it's kind of one of those like, they're like, yo, like if we can get a first round and anything else for this guy, let's just do it. Like, to me, bro, in football, or honestly in any sport, once a player decides I don't want to be here, you have a problem on your hands, especially when you putting $1 million in this dude's bank account every week after Sunday. He catches 2 balls, he still gets his milli. And if he doesn't want to be there, go get someone for half the price. Next year, a rookie's going to cost you nothing. I mean, barely anything. And
I agree.
I don't know. But anyway, guys, that is it for us over here. We could talk all day long, but we got to wrap this show up. So that is it for NFL Week 7. Good luck to all you guys there. Once again, check out sportsforumdenver.com. Follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram at Denver Forum. Check out our stuff, guys. We also have a giveaway going down for the Sunday night football game this week. Once again, sportsforumdenver.com. Go ahead and click that link there. It says click here, and you can enter right then and there. Give our man Bryson Owens a follow at Bryson Owens 16, myself at Riggs Sports Talk, and we'll see you guys next week. Bet smart.